All right, boys and girls, these are the vocabulary words that will show up across all of our texts this week. So it's good to have that good background knowledge to understand what these words mean. Our first word is anticipation. Everybody say it, anticipation. So the sentence, let's read it together. The goalie waited with anticipation as the ball came toward her. So what do you think, using context clues, what do you think anticipation means? How do you think she feels? Let's take a look at the video.
Anticipation. Anticipation is the act of expecting something to happen.
So she's expecting it to happen. She's readying her body. Do you see how she's crouched down here? Her hands are out. She's ready for it. She's anticipating it. Our definition is the act of expecting something to happen. So what is something that you have waited for with anticipation? Maybe Santa Claus or something like that, or a birthday present, or something that you really wanted to have happen. Our next word is defy. Everybody, what word? Defy. Sentence, please. If you defy a driving rule, a police officer may give you a ticket. Defy. Would you defy a driving rule while you were driving? I hope you're not driving it. That would be totally defying a driving rule. But defy means to what? Okay, let's look at our example. When you defy a rule, you refuse to obey it. Defy. Is that a positive thing to defy something? Typically not. There have been times in our history when a rule may have been totally not okay, and then we have to refuse to obey it. But most of our rules and laws, we can't just defy them just because we want to. So we have to be very careful about that because we could have a consequence for that. So why might someone defy a rule or a law? Think about Susan B. Anthony. She wanted to vote, and she even tried to vote. And what happened to her when she tried to vote? She was arrested, right? So we have to be careful that sometimes we can defy things, but we have to have good reason for it, not just because we don't want to. That's not a good reason to defy something unless we have reason and then we want to share our reasons to the people in charge. Next word, entitled. Everybody, what word? Entitled. Sentence together. The library card entitled Matt to check out a book. Entitled. So this library card gave him the opportunity, the ability for Matt to check out a book. So let's see what our definition is. If you are entitled, you qualify or have a right to do something. If you're entitled to vote, you have the right to do so. And now anybody over the age of 18 is entitled and has the right to vote. Okay, next word. Neutral. Everybody, what word? Neutral. It's got that funny spelling here. Neutral. It's pronounced neutral. Sentence together, please. An umpire must stay neutral when making a call on a play. So when it says he has to stay neutral, does that mean he goes for this side, or he has to stay right in the middle and not take a side? Neutral is just that, not taking a side. So let's see what the definition is. A person who is neutral does not support or agree with either side of an argument. They just kind of stay out of it. So why must an umpire or referee stay neutral during a game? Think about it. Would you want a referee or an umpire who wanted one team to win over the other? Their calls would not be very good then because you could tell that they liked one team better than the other, and that's not okay for a referee. Next word, outspoken. Everybody, what word? Outspoken. You can see that's a compound word, outspoken. Sentence together. Henry and Jake are outspoken about protecting the environment. outspoken. Remember, we talked about being outspoken earlier. It's okay to be outspoken as long as you're being honest and open about what you are saying. So if they're being outspoken about protecting it, are they for it or against it? They are for it, for sure. Let's look at outspoken, the definition. An outspoken person is honest and says what he or she thinks. So what word has the opposite meaning of outspoken? If you're not outspoken, maybe you're shy or reserved, you don't say what you want to say. Next word, reserved. Oh, hey, we just talked about that. But this one means something different. Reserved. Everybody spell reserved. Reserved. What word? Reserved. Sentence, please. Parking lots keep spaces reserved for handicap parking. Reserved. So if this is reserved, that space is held for those people, right? If something is reserved, it is saved for a purpose or a special person. Sometimes you have to have reservations for lots of different things. I had to make reservations yesterday for a camping site for this next summer because they fill up really fast, and if you don't do it, you don't make a reservation, you won't have a camping site. Next word, sought. What word? Sought. Sentence, please. Josie's group sought the latest team rankings in the sports section. They sought them. What were they looking for? Sought. If he sought the lost treasure, he went looking for it. I used that word just a second ago, didn't I? Looking. If you sought it, you were looking for it. Okay? Next word. Unequal. Everybody, what word? Unequal. Sentence. The number of players on the tug-of-war teams was unequal. Yeah, that looks a little lopsided there, doesn't it? Unequal. If it was equal, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it was equal, how many would be on each side? 3 and 3. But with 5 to 1, and some of these people being a lot bigger than this little one, that's definitely unequal. Things that are unequal are not the same. And that's what Susan B. Anthony was fighting for, because she didn't think that women didn't have the right to vote was unequal. All right, back to anticipation. So make sure you understand those words, as they will show up in all of our reading for this week.